Welcome you guys to this video. These are my thoughts on the new season we are gonna enter very soon, in a couple of weeks I guess, and basically what my thoughts are on 2021, which changes are coming in, how that is gonna change the pace of the game, how it might impact pro play and so forth. So this is basically a summary of everything that I gathered off of the informations we got from Riot on what changes are gonna come and how they imagine the next season to be. If you don't know who I am Shepherd's Eagle, also in-game, and I am on my way to become a League of Legends team coach. Lofty goal, I know, but I am at any point ready to put all the hours and years of work in to make that goal possible. So, if you want to follow me, if you want to help me out, please subscribe, hit that like button if you like what I do here, and if you really want to do me a favor, sorry, you can share my content. There we go. So, first I want to start with what Riot released could be the patch 10.23. There is a lot of stuff, and I can by any means not cover all of it in one video. Not possible at all. I will do an overview here, and the goal of this video basically is to share my thoughts on what's gonna happen if I summarize everything I see at the point that we are right now. So I want to start with basically, yeah, Seraphine, we got there already. I made a video about this in the patch notes. If you... or basically I didn't talk about her too much. Anyways, I don't think to cover that topic shortly, there is a lot to say about Seraphine. In my opinion, and a lot of others, still this is a weird Sonar rework, which I absolutely don't understand how that champion is so hyped, because it's just a Sonar rework with a little bit of Nico in there with the Q. And that's basically it. I think it's just a marketing gag from Riot, to be honest. So I have to say I don't really like that champion. I played her once or twice already. Feels a little bit clunky, but still very strong. So typical new champion, I would say, but I don't expect her to really show up in the future a lot. So yeah, well, it's either way. You can like her, you can hate her. I don't mind. So, the next patch officially should be coming on November 11th, which is tomorrow. Let's see how that turns out, because there are a lot of changes, guys. Holy moly. First, let's start with an overview over the new items. Wow. I have to say, through the last seasons, there were a lot of changes too, don't get me wrong. You know, there, like every new season, Riot had some plans how to develop the game, how to improve the play for any elo, you know, to improve quality of gameplay, quality of community interaction, and so on. And there were a lot of things happening, but this new patch, seriously, I feel like they just made a new version of League of Legends. This is not the League of Legends we know. Like, if you view it from a perspective as a pro player, what happens with this patch is not like, okay, we're gonna adapt some of this stuff to this and then we get back into our game. Basically, this is, okay, let's just learn a whole new game. What the hell? Like, okay, I can get from Riot's perspective. They have been online with that game for about 10 years now. It's been a real long journey, and they are in danger of basically losing a lot of their players and a lot of the community maybe to other games that are a little bit more up to date. You know, not saying that I'm not saying that League of Legends is too old or anything. Not at all. I play this game for 6 years now nearly and still love it. And don't prefer any other game above League of Legends, but on the market, if you view it from that kind of a perspective, I think League of Legends has to really reinvent something. Like, to really get in front of people again to show, hey guys, we are still the leader here. We can still show up. We have new stuff to bring. You can always learn something from us, and you are always going to be surprised how far this game develops. So from a business perspective, I would say I totally understand that move. From a community and player and pro play perspective especially, this is horrible. Like, this is really just a new game, and you have to decide if you are a normal player, if you still want to play that game now, and as a pro player, like, how the hell are you gonna adapt to that? Like, those changes here, I mean, this is just, you see that scroll button here, right, in the right corner. This goes endlessly. The whole item changes. What the hell? There are so many new items. This is completely new item system we didn't even have before. I mean, the in-game shop is gonna change completely too. So what most people were used to, like just clicking their path, like click, 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 and getting the items really fast to just get back into lane when they were basing. Wow, they have to completely retrain that. They have to completely adapt to a new system, to new items. And especially if you were an analyst, for example, in the last seasons, and you knew like how some items would interact with different champions, different plays, different team compositions, like, this is horrible for you too. This is just, what is happening? You know, like, if you consider all the new items and all the new passive effects, what they do, like, a lot of them are still kind of related to the old ones. Like, for example, the Sunfire Aegis. Like, this is a bit of a Sunfire cape still, but dude, like, ability has is completely new. I won't even talk about that too much in this video. But new stats here, like, what the hell? Oh, actually, this is not the Sunfire cape, right? This is something different. All those. This is from... What? Okay, like, I have to read through that whole stuff here if I get the time at the moment to really understand what's happening. Because I didn't read through all of those details yet, so I cannot tell you exactly what's gonna happen. This is not like an analytical video or something. This is just sharing my thoughts, first impression. Okay, so please forgive me if I don't give you the perfect analysis here. But seriously, to get back to my point, this whole stuff here is gonna change the game completely. I think, to sum it up, because I don't want to make this a long video, you can imagine League of Legends in Season 11 to be a whole different game. Like, the Rift is gonna be the same, of course, the champions are mostly gonna be the same, but dude, the system behind that game is completely gonna change. Items completely new, item system completely new, shop system completely new. We got a change that you can actually not do a queue in Master or Grandmaster anymore, so it's only up to Diamond that you can do a queue, which is, I think, fair, because I think throughout the years and seasons, the pro play, or the good players basically in League of Legends, have just grown and developed more and more and more, and we got more pro players. This is basically the reason, I think, why Iron was invented before we just had Bronze. And same goes now, because I think this makes it a little harder to really get up to Challenger. So only if you're really, really good, you get up to Challenger, because you don't have the opportunity to do a queue there now. So I respect the change. Holy shit, the buffs, nerfs, and changes. I'm not gonna go through those completely either in this video. Those are too many to really just make a short clip about that. But I think this is, for example, I mean, there are a lot of changes that change up so many mechanics inside the game. Like, this is also a reason why I talk about League of Legends being a completely new game. Katarina passive now applies on-hit effects to all units struck. Like, this, maybe this is pointing to a whole new Katarina, you know, and on other champions we got that too. I mean, they had to change a lot of stuff because of the new items. You know, you cannot just invent a whole bunch of new items, leave everything the same concerning the champions, and expect that nothing there is going to be totally overpowered. You know, you have to consider some champions that might abuse a lot of those items very, very heavily. So all these changes are hopefully directed into the new item system, you know, so it synergizes better. And I still think that there are gonna be some champions maybe that can abuse some items, because you have to figure that out in game, and there are a lot of geniuses, you know, in the League of Legends community that focus on just finding stuff that's overpowered. So I expect to happen that definitely. It's either way, but yeah. Dude, those are so many changes. Yeah, you completely have to relearn the game then. Well. I prepared a gameplay again. You know, I like to do that sometimes, to talk a little bit. Maybe this video is gonna be a little longer, but hopefully not more than half an hour. Well, let me just get the thought clear on what I was talking about, because I want to talk about the pro play side of League of Legends in the new season. This is a really big topic, and definitely something you need to consider, especially in my case, because I want to be a League of Legends team coach at some point. So I gotta think about that a lot and work through all that stuff. It's pretty new to me because I didn't have a lot of time the past weeks to study all that stuff yet, but it's gonna come, and I'm gonna make a lot of new videos about the new season and what changes are gonna appear, and maybe also what impact this is gonna have on the pro play scene. So let's just play a replay here. I prepared that one. Of course, it's my replay, I played that game myself, so we get a little bit of League of Legends content there. First point, as I said, biggest challenge in the new season is gonna be to relearn the game completely. This is something you cannot avoid, even as a pro player. You cannot prepare for that big of a change like weeks before it happens. If you read the patch notes of earlier patches, for example, just gonna change this one up. Right, here we go. If you view all the changes in patch notes, it was always something you could work around. You could just integrate into your current gameplay, knowledge, whatever it was. In this case, with this new patch, it's not possible anymore. It's too much. Like, it's really, really too much to change, to learn, to review, you know. I might have to take the door soon, but not yet. So pro player is gonna change completely. We're gonna see a whole new bunch of power picks, of stuff we didn't see in the past seasons. And I think this is on one side a lot of stuff to go through for every pro player we have on the world. But on the other hand, I think this is gonna bring some fresh air. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because this Worlds, for example, like 2020 Worlds. When I was watching finals, and I was watching especially Dumb One closer, I had a feeling that that League of Legends came to a point with this season, like 2020, where the whole idea of playing a game went a little bit off. Let me explain. Every game has a ceiling at some point. You know, a cap, like to where you can go, and because it's still a computer game. Like it's of course it's very very it's filled with variants and different variables you can work around, but at some point you're gonna master the game. And you're not gonna be able to take that any further, if you get what I mean. So, I think Damwon, for example, still congratulations to them for making world champions. They figured a way to just play League of Legends up to a level that you can never ever contest anymore. And to be honest, I didn't like what they pulled off in Worlds? At Worlds. At Worlds this year in just one regard. They were perfectly playing. They were like, if you were looking out for good League of Legends, Damwon are the first choice you should ever watch. But it's a game. Guys, come on, it's a game. I know World Championship is really an important thing, and it's a heavily discussed topic, and every pro player goes into pro play to reach World Champion. I get it, you know? But still, we're playing a game, guys. It's not like the picture perfect thing that you have to just master at any point of the game to be the unbeatable king of the world. It's not that. It's just like who figures out the best way to combine fun with professionality, if you get what I mean. Like G2, for example, showed us that throughout the last years perfectly. Like, this team has pulled off entertainment, fun, and professional play. All three combined. And this is how a perfect League of Legends team looks to me. Because it's like a world champion is also for the League of Legends community. It's not only just to be up there. And I think Damwon, for example, they took that too far. I think they forgot about that this is a game, this is a community, that the community is basically why they can be up there. And it's a part of pro play to just support the community too, and not just let the community support you as a pro player, if you get what I mean. So I think, to come back to my point here, the whole changes we get in the new season are gonna bring fresh wind, like a new fresh wind in this regard, that all the players who put all the years of work in to get just so good at League of Legends, to just get to the level where you are at some point unbeatable, these players have to rethink now. They have to think like, okay, it's still a game, it changes. Like, it's not something you just master and then you're out of it. You know, you're just unbeatable anymore. So I think Riot, in my opinion, put up that change at exactly the right time. Because now teams that are still playing for fun can show up again. Like, teams that are entertaining, teams that maybe try to invent some new stuff that's not been seen yet. Because this is a big point of League of Legends, a big topic. A part of that game is that invention and new ideas just come to show. And people who put all the work in to really work out strategies and stuff that hasn't been seen yet get rewarded. That's a big part of that game. And I think it was missing throughout this season. Because we saw some new stuff, you know, but it was basically, yeah, it wasn't changing so much. Because, for example, from G2, we got, I think it was 2018 or 2019, we saw the funnel strategy. That was too much for Riot. Like, they nerfed that into the ground. They didn't want to see that. But this is something, for example, I'm not saying that we're gonna get another funnel strat, but this is something, for example, that opens new possibility in this regard for the new season. To just make teams, or to give teams the freedom again to just invent new stuff, not just only teams, but also individual players, of course. It doesn't have to be pro play, but just to bring some new stuff in and to raise the level of entertainment, because it's a game, as I said, and it has to be entertaining, you know? Because if a game is not entertaining anymore, why would you watch it at any point? You know, you get what I mean. This is why I didn't like to watch Damwon throughout Worlds, because they were so good, they were so adapting so well, they were just unbeatable at some point, that it was like, yeah, of course they're gonna win. Where's the point in watching this game? You know, it's not like even close. It's just Damwon being showing pure domination and picture perfect League of Legends without any flaws, without any big mistakes, nothing really to, well, be entertained from, just something very very well calculated, and you just knew they are gonna finish off the enemies easily by just pure calculation. And this is like, it's a little bit like math, comparing this with math. If you go into a math course, for example, and you expect to get entertained there, it's gonna be possible, like, yeah, to some degree, if you get what I mean. But it's not gonna be some stuff happening that's gonna be unexpected, you know? It's just gonna be calculated. And this is a little bit how I felt was Worlds 2020. So, I don't want to, as I said, stretch this topic too much, but I think this is why I respect Riot for going the step to also risk losing some of the player base they had throughout the years, because this is a very very big change, and as you already know, for some people, if the changes are too big, it's too much. And I can totally understand that. Like, if you say, oh holy moly, what's happening here in season 11, I don't want to deal with that, I don't even want to learn that, I want to play the old League of Legends, I can get that, because it's a lot to really, you really have to relearn the game basically. But not the whole game, of course, like macro and all that stuff still gonna be mostly the same, but as I said, with the items and the new shop system and all that stuff happening, and all the buffs and nerfs and changes, it's a lot to deal with. So, but I expect on the other hand to also make space for new talents, new players, because if you have played League of Legends the old way, like with the system we had the last years, you're gonna have a lot harder of a time to adapt to the new stuff. On the other hand, if you're maybe new and you're not used to play the old style for that long, it's easier to adapt, you know. So I expect that to play a little bit into the hands of younger players who just maybe started out in League of Legends and want to have an easier time climbing, for example, because they can adapt faster. They don't have that big how do you say that, burden of letting go of all the old stuff that worked before. So I've been talking a lot. I apologize if it's too much for you. If you stayed here up until this point with me, just please post in comments, hey, I'm still there. I would really appreciate that. So to sum it up now, because I think I shared a lot of thoughts now and I made my points clear. Overall, I like the idea. It's a lot. It's gonna be challenging. It's gonna bring a lot of changes into every single part of League of Legends. Pro play, solo queue, flex queue, clash. Like I said, one tricks are gonna change. Champions are gonna be completely different in some points because of the new items. I mean, one thing I didn't talk about was the item for AD carries where you can dash, where you have an active item which lets you dash as an immobile AD carry. This is like, wow, this is game breaking, because one of the big weaknesses for most AD carries was their immobility, and Ezreal, for example, was a very strong AD carry and a safe AD carry because of his dash, his blink, I think it is, or leap. And now it's just for all AD carries. The only difference is with the item you cannot dash over a wall. Okay, I get it. Like, this is still not super overpowered, but you can completely reposition yourself, and it's a big dash, by the way. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it. You can completely reposition yourself in a fight and don't lose a lot of time or DPS because you're just like and start auto attacking. For example, if you're a Kog'Maw, just imagine that. Like, you're shooting like a machine gun and like and you shoot again. You know, like before that item you had to really move and wait, so you lose a lot of DPS in that time and maybe some Rage Blade stacks too, just to move to the different position in the fight to reposition yourself. And this was in a lot of team fights enough for the enemies to just punish that. and for example finish of Kog'Maw. And now you can just reposition in like a sliver of a moment and shoot again. So this for example is a really big change to the AD carry position, and I expect to be AD carries in general to be a lot more viable throughout the whole map. To be honest, I think we don't go into a complete AD carry meta, but I don't think AD carries will be bound to the ADC position that hard anymore as they were in previous seasons. Like for example, Vayne top was a thing in this season. Now with that item, every AD carry can be played top lane because you have a dash, you are mobile, you know? So yeah, it's gonna be a complete crazy new season, and I expect a lot of weird stuff getting pulled out there. I'm excited, I'm honest, I'm really excited for that, even though it's a lot of stuff to learn, but I think it's gonna turn out good. And it's a big move from Riot. We have to I just have to pay respect to Riot that they are ready to make that big change. Maybe they had to, I don't know, like I don't know the numbers from the company. Maybe they had to really just completely break the game a little in some point to maybe get new players to play it or whatever, to build some hype around it. I don't know, could be, since if we are honest, the Seraphine release was just a PR thing, like the skin for Seraphine and with KDA combined and all that stuff, you know, another e-girl, and as I said, just being a little bit like a Sona rework, which still appears pretty weird to me, but whatever, let's leave it to Riot, let's leave it at that. I think it's gonna be a whole damn season of fun, I'll be honest. I cannot wait for all the crazy picks and all the crazy stuff people and players are gonna put out, and also in pro play what the teams are gonna pull out there. I'm gonna make different videos about pro play too, like how the teams are gonna be in 2021 maybe, and maybe some rumors, I don't know if there are some. So yeah, this is basically it for this video. It got nearly half an hour, so it's okay. I hope you like it, and yeah, as I said, if I can do anything for you, if you have special video requests, I did a video request. Sorry, how do you say that? I did a requested video already about coming back as a support. So if you have any requests, just post in comments. You can follow me on my Twitter, Reddit, and you can write me an email if you want to talk about business stuff with me, like for example giving me a shot as a team coach in your team. I'm open to any opportunity. So yeah, well, thank you for watching. I think we are finished so far. I'm gonna exit the game now, and well, see you in the next video. Bye bye, and take care. Love and respect for you guys. Bye bye. It's over. It's enough.